Welcome to Solo Iced Coffee. I said I'm doing a video a day. Doing a video a day. I promise. My name is Poet. If you're new, welcome. Hi. Hit the subscribe. I'm going to keep saying that. Hit the subscribe. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers because I'd like to try to monetize. And I know I said I would never do that. My situation has changed. Things are a little different now. And so if I can monetize, I'd like to. Even for a tiny little bit of money would be helpful in a new situation, in a new townhouse. It's not new. It was built in 1995, but new to us. And just doing all the things you do when you go into a new situation, and believe me, there's a lot of things pop up, there's painting that we're in the process of doing, and painting that we bought, and I'll take you along through all of this stuff. I'll show you everything. But we have a deck. We have a bird feeder on it. And we are not going to be doing any traveling. We're just not for a while, because George he did a lot of world traveling. He's been many places. I've been like Disney World, when my youngest son was young, and kids are home from school. Not my kids, neighborhood kids are home from school. I've been to Arizona, but I didn't see anything other than in the city, like the industrial part of Phoenix. Anyway, but he was a world traveler, and things are different in his life and in my life, and so there's not what money there is, which there isn't, but you know what I mean, is going into the house. We need to put a new roof on, which is a townhouse, so it's not a huge roof, but still. And we need to get the air conditioning unit serviced and see how it is, and is it something that's going to hold up for a summer or two. Again, I'm not an air conditioning kind of girl. I don't like it. But, we have the patio door that has a screen, and the front windows have screens, and there's this incredible crosswind. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So what money there is, which there isn't, goes into the house. But what I want to talk about today, after I show you my iced coffee, here's the daily. Now this is pretty sweet. Like I messed up a little bit. I've got, it's called, what the heck is it called? Italian sweet cream. Does that sound right? Italian sweet cream? I think that's what it is. It's International Delight. Look at the sweat on the cup. And it's got like a caramel taste to it. And then I put a little bit of French vanilla. I have French vanilla in there that I didn't know I had opened up. And you're supposed to use this stuff within 2 weeks. I don't know. I don't remember when I opened it up, but I smelled it and it smells okay. And I put a little bit of Hershey syrup because I don't have any cafe mocha. So I'm using Hershey syrup, which is a lot more chocolatey than the other stuff. Anyway, so, and then Gio frothed it for me, and I have a little bit of Cool Whip, even though I don't eat or drink the Cool Whip. And tons of ice, as you can tell. So there's my coffee. So let's talk. And I did a couple videos on this topic already, but why not? And I don't think lately, meaning in the last couple of weeks, I don't think I've talked about UTIs like in depth lately. I did a couple of videos where I touched on it, but I think I deleted them. I don't think I put them up. So if this is kind of like a repeat and you don't want to watch it, that's fine. It's fine. But let's talk about UTIs, urinary tract infections. Both men and women get them. Mostly women, or more women talk about it, and I'm sure more women go to doctors for it and all that stuff. You can go into a store now. You can go into a Walmart, a Target, a drugstore. You can get a UTI test. You can test yourself at home now. They're like $15. I never bought one, but I saw one when I was getting the urinary bladder pills. So you can buy a test yourself at home. I don't know how that really helps, except that if it comes up negative and you're having pain and whatnot, you know it's not a UTI because the test is negative, right? But if it's positive, a doctor would say antibiotics. I kind of skirt that system, but anyway. So what age? Any age. Women of all ages are getting UTIs. Postmenopausal. Hormonally, we change up something crazy. I'll do a whole video on being postmenopausal, and I've been postmenopausal for like 25 years now, but that's one thing. Tight underwear, even wet bathing suits, hot tubs, swimming pools, any breeding ground for bacteria, leggings, really tight jeans. Like there's all this, we need to breathe. You know, the girl needs to breathe. So intercourse, that's a big one for women getting UTIs. So we're told, and it's just good, it's just a good cleansing thing anyway, that after intercourse, get up out of bed, go to the bathroom, go pee, okay, go to the bathroom, wash yourself off, get nice and fresh, and so that will help push anything out. You'll just feel a little bit better anyway. So that's like the first thing that you definitely want to do. A UTI. Here is my saving grace. Okay, I'm going to do, now I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a nurse practitioner, I'm none of those things, okay? I worked in a hospital, I worked for a nursing home, I was a certified nurse aide with the papers, with the certification, with the state, okay, for about 14 years. Before that and after that, I took care of people still. And I was working at the hospital one night, and I had got a UTI, and I had started to feel it even before I went on my shift. I was working second shift. And a UTI, typically, at least for me, and this may present differently for other women, I don't know, but for me it's like you need to go pee, you start to go, and there's this painful, weird tugging. It's like a tugging feeling, like it's like somebody's going like that. You know, it's, you know it. Like if you know, you know. You felt it, and it's like you have this urgency to go to the bathroom, but you know it's going to hurt. It's like walking over hot coals barefoot, because you know it's going to hurt like a son of a gun, but for whatever reason you have to do it. And then every 10 minutes you're in the bathroom going through this same intense, uncomfortable, unbearable pain, right? And it's awful, and you can't get away from it. So then you call your doctor, and the doctor says, well, we need a urine sample. And then you've got to get a container, and it's got to be very clean, right? If you go to your doctor and you have a really good relationship with your doctor, this is just like a little tip. If you have a really good relationship with your doctor, ask him or her if you can get a clean catch container from them. My doctor a couple times gave me a clean catch container. It's sterile, it's in the package, it has the little wipe in there that you wipe yourself off first, and then you go pee, you pee a little bit, and then you put the urine in the cup, and then they can test it, and it's a good test. My doctor would give me a clean catch container so that I had one here, because there was this short period of time I was getting a couple of UTIs in a row, right? So if you can get a clean catch container, that's good. Then you have one sitting. You just leave it unopened. If not, then it's like you've got to get some kind of container with a lid. You've got to make sure it's really clean. You get the urine sample, then you've got to take it to either your doctor's office or to an urgent care center, right? And drop it off. So you're carrying it in and you're putting it in a bag, and you're like, and you got to go through all that, and then they test it, and then they'll see what kind of bacteria it is as to what kind of antibiotic you have to go and pick up. And then you go and get your antibiotic when it's ready, and you pay whatever your copay is, and it's just a thing, And then it takes a little while for all that to kick in, right? I've already gone 10 days on an antibiotic. But this one particular day, I was working, I had a UTI, and I had some blood in my urine. Not a lot, but enough that it was obvious to me. So I went to my nurse manager, and I know I said this in a video, but I think I deleted that video. But like I said, if I've said this already, just click off. I said, I've got a UTI and there's blood in my urine. And she said, go down to the ER and get checked. And when you work in a hospital, they'll check you in the ER really fast. You're working, you're on the shift, you go down to the ER. And I had this amazing nurse, this ER nurse, who got me tested real quick, and it came back real quick. And she said, yeah, you have a UTI. And here's what I'm gonna give you. So she wrote out a script, right? But she also gave me these 2 pills, these pills that look like this. She gave me 2 of them, and a cup of water. And she said, take these. She said, now, do you have any panty liners on you, in your pocketbook, or can you, we can give you one. And I didn't have any, but so they gave me one, because she said, when you urinate, it's going to be bright yellow, like a yellow orange, like not yellow like you're dehydrated, but kind of like yellow orange, like you just died an Easter egg. It's going to look like that. So you want to have a panty liner on, because you want to protect all of those, all that underwear that you just bought. I think right now at Victoria's Secret, they have a sale at something like, what is it? 8 pair of panties for $38 or something like that. I only know that because when we walk the mall, we walk by a Victoria's Secret. I don't go in Victoria's Secret. It's crazy expensive, but anyway. So you don't want to ruin your underwear. Well, underwear is expensive. So you need to put a panty liner on. So make sure you have panty liners if you're going through all this. But these things, I swear to God, if you have UTIs and you don't know about these things, I'm telling you, these things have saved my life so many times. Now this pack is called Uricom. Maximum strength. I won't get anything but maximum strength unless I have to. It's 99.5 milligrams of phena something, HCI. Doctor recommended. Take a look at that. Now this is just one brand. I think there's 24 in each little foil thing. So the second I feel that twinge of a UTI, I go right to these things. And a couple days ago, a UTI, the symptoms hit me really fast, like no warning. It was like nothing, and then, oh my God. So I took 2, because that's what the ER doc had given me. I took 2. And then late afternoon I took one, and then bedtime I took one, and I did that for 2 days. Now, don't do what I do. Okay, I'm telling you, do not do what I do. If you get UTI, call your doctor. Okay, I don't necessarily call my doctor. One, I don't even have a doctor. I have a resident. She's very nice, but you know, I don't go through all that if I don't have to. One thing you want to do is you want to hydrate. Water. Okay, my iced coffee is a once a day thing in the afternoon. I won't finish this. The rest of the time, I'm just drinking water. So you want to hydrate. You also, a lot of women drink cranberry juice. I didn't grab them, I'm sorry. I have cranberry capsules. I've shown them a bunch of times. I have cranberry capsules, cranberry powder in a capsule. I take one a day. And so that's added in. I don't like to drink cranberry juice. It makes my mouth really dry. But, so you can, I would keep these things on hand. Just like, this is QC. I got this one. I know I talked about this in a video, but I think I deleted it. I got this from my over-the-counter card, so I didn't pay anything for this pack. This is the same thing, the 99.5, compared to Azo. It's maximum strength. Again, it came like this with the package torn. 24 tablets, same kind of situation. Take 2 tablets 3 times daily with a full glass of water, with or after meals as needed. Do not use for more than 2 days without consulting a doctor. Okay, now that's my out kind of for not calling the doctor. It says you can use these for 2 days without calling a doctor. Again, don't do what I do. Don't do what I do. But fast relief for urinary pain, burning, and urgency. And strongest UTI pain reliever available without a prescription. If you've had a UTI, you know the heck you're going through. You know it. You've been there, you've felt it, it's awful. So I have the Uricalm, I have the generic, which works just as good, and I was at Walmart the other day looking for a generic, which would run about $4. But they didn't have any generic. They were all sold out. Why? Because women are catching on to this kind of thing. So I had to get the Azo, the #1 most trusted brand. It says the exact same thing. It says the exact same thing that everything else says. Stop use and ask a doctor if your symptoms last for more than 2 days. Okay, they all say the same thing. So, and then it says, you know, ask a doctor before use if you have kidney disease, if you have allergies to foods, to preservatives or the dyes, if you have hypersensitive reaction to whatever it is, hydrochloride, which I don't know. And also if you have glucose 6-phosphate something deficiency, unless approved by your doctor. Again, read the back of the package. So I have not 1, not 2, but 3. And I got when I was in the store Lidl the other day, I got for like $4, 64 panty liners. These are just the littlest size. You don't need the extra long, like really, you don't need like an extra long kind of thing going on. You know, those extra long panty liners, I mean, if it's a panty liner, you're just lining your panty. You're not lining halfway up your back. You know what I mean? So, my go-to. This is a lot of information. But if there's intimacy involved, and I know that there would be a good chance that UTI type symptoms might occur, I just take one of these after I go to the bathroom, just right away, just to protect myself, just to kind of, it's kind of a precautionary thing. That's not that often, so it's not like I'm doing this every day. I'm not 22, you know, I'm not a rabbit. So, you know, once in a while, that's what I do. And you know, you can use these for 2 days before you need to call your doctor. That was 20 minutes, but I talked like the first 6 about the deck and, you know, what we're trying to do with the house. So, but I wanted to pass along this kind of thing. Again, don't do what I do. I'm not a doctor. I'm not your doctor. This is what I do. And most people would never do what I've done in my life, ever. But I have to make decisions on, you know, if I had to call my doctor or my resident, which I wouldn't even probably be able to get a hold of, every single time I would get a symptom of, like, you know, you don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. You might want to do that. I don't want to do that. So that's like my little arsenal. And then, you know, it doesn't hurt. The cranberry juice doesn't hurt, just for like everyday use, to keep everything clean and cleansed and all that, or the cranberry capsules if you don't like to drink cranberry juice. Like I said, for me, it makes my mouth feels real dry and weird, and I just can't. So that's my talk for the day. How's that? Like, it's one of those things that you don't want to talk about it. Not only that, if you're like me, one of the worst things for me is to have to walk into a busy urgent care center carrying a brown paper bag, because everybody knows what's in that bag. It's just a thing. We're human. We all go through stuff. It's just a thing for me. So I'm asking you to hit the subscribe to try to help me to get to 1,000. Honestly, there's so many things. I'm going to show you all the paintings that are hanging up in the house. I'm sorry, I lived in apartments for like 10 years, even longer. I'm going to show you the paintings. I'm going to show you, as soon as Gio starts painting downstairs, he has the palette box cleaned off now, and he has a canvas, and he has canvases ordered that are on their way from Temu. It's taking like a month for them to get here, but once he starts painting, we'll show some of that. As we put the deck together, because there's all these ideas. We have a indoor-outdoor rug coming from Amazon, and 2 chairs and a little table set. It's one of their best sellers for out there. And I have a Hote, the Laughing Buddha. And Hote is the garden. It goes in a garden. It goes outside. Sky bought it. Let's see, Sky's been gone a year. We were together 5 years before that, so that's 6 years. And he bought it almost 5 years before that. So he bought that Hote about 10 to 11 years ago. And I have Hote here, and he's a big, you've seen him, you've seen my Hote. So he's going to go outside on the deck, and I want to create this oasis. I want to create this calm place for us to spend time to go out and sit. Gio is emailing the HOA to see if we can put a couple of 6-foot lattice panels on the left side of the deck, with 2 flower boxes on the bottom, that I can put vinca vine and morning glories, and for like a little privacy kind of thing, and then also, you know, pops of color. And we have the solar lights that come on at night automatically, and then I want to get some of those big round pots, you know, like the plastic ones. You can get at Lowe's or Home Depot. Walmart probably has them too, I'm sure. So we'll look there too. and then fill it with soil and put, get the flowers in there, the different kinds of flowers, and create a space out there that we can sit during the day, and at night go out and see the stars. We have yet to do that, to go out. We don't have a place to sit out there, but we have this beautiful, beautiful expanse of sky, and so we'd like to go out and check out the planets and see the stars and all that. So as that comes together, I'll show you that too. Like, there's so much. For the longest time, I haven't been able to put videos together. I haven't been on Messenger. I'm almost never on Facebook. Once in a blue moon, one of you guys will see me over there. I'll pop over there. If there's a friend request, I'll take it. If I know you, someone sent me a friend request the other day, but I didn't recognize your name, so I did a decline. I wasn't sure who you are. So, but I've got to get over to Messenger. It's been 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't even know. Just to try to catch up, because each day that goes by that I don't go over there, I feel worse about myself for not being in contact with my friends. So, but there's been a lot for me that I have struggled with and still struggle with, like to this day, to this very day. A lot of things happening, a lot of things that have happened, a lot of things that I've realized and found out about, and things, acceptance. There's a lot of acceptance that's happened. And so I've had a period of time of really deep struggle. Police cars. So I'm working on that every single day. And when I go through these kind of spells, it's really hard for me to connect with anyone. No matter how connected I feel to you guys, and there's like 10 of you that I feel like this with, like in my heart, and you know who you are, right? But it's really hard for me to step over there and make that connection. Can't explain it. It's just the way I am. So I'm going to go. Thank you for being here. Please hit the subscribe. Help me out. And I'll be back tomorrow. Namaste.